if you want to make money, if you want to make something, you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice your time, your family time, everything, and that's gonna pay off.
From This Week in Trucking, this is Profit Per Mile, and I'm Amy. Today we're joined by Filip Jovanovic, founder and CEO of TTT Freight, a trucking company based in the countryside of Illinois that works both with owner-operators and company drivers, even opportunities that don't require a CDO. Filip brings a carrier's perspective on operating trucks, finding loads, and building a business that supports independent drivers. If you're running under your own authority or thinking about how to maximize your profitability while navigating driver opportunities, compliance, and cost pressures in 2026, this episode is for you. But before we get into it, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you never miss conversations like this one. Filip, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Amy. Thank you for having me.
Could you start by telling us your story? How did you get into trucking and how did you start TTT Freight?
I started as a truck driver first. I think like everyone who owns a trucking company. So at the beginning, my goal was been to buy my first truck. When I saw right after I get into the truck, I decided that that's something what I want to do in my life. So I had hearing about trucking for years. So I decided to start as a truck driver and to buy after some time to buy my first truck. So that's my first goal. And I started right after COVID when rates was being very good at that time. And I saw my challenge there, and that's how I decided to go into the trucking.
And how did you start TTT Freight? How did you get to the number of trucks you are right now?
Like I said, I started as a truck driver, so my only goal was at that time was simple to buy my first truck, and I started to work for some other companies on their own authority, and I saw that a lot of problem in their structure, and let's say from the first day when I decided that I like to be in trucking industry, I started thinking about that how to build my company, how to open my authority, and how to start my trucking business. So let's say from the day first, I have some plans, but that was been for me at that time. That was been my dream, but yeah, step by step, I I I tried to build something. So yeah.
And today you operate about 40 trucks. Could you let us know what kind of freight you primarily run?
We run general freight, so everything what we can find on the market. So yeah, we don't have something specific what we work. That's general freight and everything what we can find.
Could you tell us how your model of work goes with contracted drivers? How does it work?
We have company drivers and we have like owner operators. So if you can, we have two options. You can drive company driver and we can rent you a truck and drive under our authority. So yeah, that's two models what we, but most of our drivers right now are company drivers. We pay them per mile, but we have couple of them owner operators as well. We right now we offer a lease-to-purchase model for our drivers, and they can buy truck with our help. So when some driver come to our office and talk with me so about what he wants in the future, so if he tell me that he want to buy a truck, I tell him, okay, start as a company driver. If you like us as a company, and if we like you as a driver, we can find a way. We can help you to buy your first truck. So we have couple drivers. They paid off their trucks and they still working with us, driving for us. And yeah,
And could you tell us how do you help your drivers find consistent freight?
we have a dispatchers. We have a good dispatch team. That's something what that's the most important thing I think in trucking right now, to have a good dispatchers. And we have 24/7 dispatch team. I try to find the best dispatchers, and when I find them, I bring them to our company, and we started working. So we have a good dispatch team, and they take care about loads. So at the beginning, I tried to be a dispatchers, but I saw that that's not for me because you need to be 100% in that. So you need to be always there for driver. You need to always look at load board. At the beginning, I try to do that, and I do that. But right after, when I find a good dispatchers, I give them to take care about that.
And if we could get into the numbers a bit of the operation you are running right now, maybe you have it on the top of your mind. Maybe it's a number you need to look for. But on average, could you tell us what does one truck gross per week or per month in your fleet?
It's hard to say exactly. It's up to dispatcher and the driver, So if the driver is 7 day on the road, he can make, let's say, if market is okay that week, from 5,500 to 8,000-9,000 week. So depends. We have right now very good relationship with brokers, and we have some dedicated routes. So if everything it's okay that week, I think minimum is 5,500.
And for a driver that's running maybe 5 days a week, how many miles are they doing?
Probably about 2,500 to 35, depends of hours of service and everything. So let's say to 3,500 probably.
And then from what you've seen, what are the biggest weekly or monthly expenses they need to account for? For example, fuel, maintenance, insurance. I don't know if you do tolls.
Probably fuel is the biggest expenses for trucks. Right now, the fuel prices is going up because of all this situation. I don't know. We will see next couple of weeks what's gonna happen with prices and everything. So fuel, insurance, maintenance. That's something. Insurance, maybe insurance, because insurance rate every years are higher. So insurance for me as a company, insurance is the biggest expense.
Do you know approximately how much you're paying per month or a year?
But let's say per truck on 16,000, because we have cargo coverage to 250,000, and we have liability and everything what's included. So let's say we for that we pay around 16,000 per year.
And then how do you manage compliance within your company, like ELDs or permits, safety policies? How do you go about managing all that?
Yeah, but so we have good TMS software. We have a safety department. We have three guys right now. They're working just on safety, and they are always in touch with drivers about everything. So if we saw on ELD or something like that someone, let's say, is driving disconnected or something like that, there is always someone who can call the driver and ask him to correct that. So in this business, safety score is everything. So it's very important to have a good safety score. If you have a good safety score, you can make a good relationship and connection with brokers. You can book better loads. You can get at the end of the year, you can get better insurance rates. So safety score is pretty much everything.
We mentioned you right now are running about 40 trucks. What mistakes do you think people are making or personal mistakes you made when trying to grow from a small fleet to a bigger one?
If you have one truck, you need to be ready for second one. So you need to be prepared with cash reserves and everything. So I remember when I bought my first truck, I didn't know that at the beginning. So I just wanted to buy my first truck, and on the first load, what I pick up, my truck was broke down. And at that moment, I was being in trouble, because you have to pay for repair, you have to pay for towing and everything. And maybe that's a good lesson for me because that happened on the first load, and I learned right away what I need to do. And my truck was broke down. I called towing. I paid for repair, and I stay without money, let's say. So that moment, I know that you need to have some cash reserves. You need to be prepared for second truck. After that, I started driving, and I know if I want to buy second one, I need to be prepared for that. And today on 40 trucks is the same. You need to prepare. Let's say if we had 5 trucks in our fleet, we need to be prepared for that. So
Coming back a little bit again to drivers, could you tell us how you structure driver pay?
So we pay them per mile, we pay them per mile, or we rent them the truck. So let's say if we book whole gross is there, they have to pay for insurance, we give them fuel card, and we need to pay that expenses and everything what we charge them some dispatch fee percent. That's what's staying in company, and everything else is there. They take home.
And could you tell us from what you see in your company, what separates the top performing drivers to average performing drivers?
Yeah, I saw that every day. If you're in truck, you have to be a good truck driver. So I want to say, when I started as a truck driver, I wanted to be a best truck driver. I don't even have a clothes in my truck. If I'm in some beautiful city to go out and walk around, I just wanted to book a load and to drive. If you want to make money, if you want to make something, you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice your time, your family time, everything, and that's gonna pay off at the end for sure. That's gonna pay off. So I saw a lot of drivers. They driving 2-3 days and then they're home 2-3 days. I think that model doesn't work in this business. You need to be on the road. In our model, in our company, because we are OTR company, we don't have local routes or something like that. We are over the road, and we are trying to build connections with brokers and all over the road. So if you work with us, that's my advice for someone who starts working with our company, because we have that model, and that's what I say to every driver who come in our company.
Was there a moment when you started scaling up to the 40 trucks you are right now, when it started to feel more difficult than actually profitable?
Sometimes, when good week, you have more benefits because you have more trucks on the road and you can make more money. But when fuel and insurance rates go up, if you are not prepared for that, you can be in trouble, because more trucks, more problems, you need to be prepared.
One thing I like to ask company owners is if you could tell us some horror story or something simple like a big financial mistake that you made while you were growing your company that now that you wouldn't make again.
Sometimes happen that when I buy a truck, the truck is not good. Sometimes that happened, that truck was broken right after go on the road. Even of the new trucks, that happened on the brand new trucks as well sometimes. But that's the part of this game. I didn't do some big mistakes until now. I don't know what can happen tomorrow, but I will try to do my best.
And to close out this interview, if there was one piece of advice that you would give to owner operators or small carriers who want to stay profitable this year, what would you say to them?
You need to know your numbers. You need to know your numbers weekly, not monthly. You need to know weekly. You need to track your expenses every week, fuel cost, insurance cost, per mile. So how much you're paying for your truck, you need to know that. And I think that's pretty much simple. I don't know what can happen this year. I cannot be smart to give some best piece of advice, but let's say very simple: track your expenses and everything gonna be good.
Amazing. Yeah, because we know one challenge many owner operators talk about is waiting many days to be paid, especially when fuel, maintenance, and bills are weekly. Factoring can be a tool to keep cash flow predictable and help you run without cash stress while you grow your business. So if you're looking for a factoring service, I'll leave Bobtail's link in the description. Filip, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for having me It has been my pleasure.
We received great insights into what it takes to run a fleet profitably like you're doing today, especially for owner-operators and independent carriers. And if you're still listening and cash flow has been a bottleneck, we'll leave a link in the description for Bobtail's factoring service. Same-day pay, no hidden fees, and support when you need it most. Don't forget to subscribe to This Week in Trucking so you never miss a conversation like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and drive safe.